Welcome to the Powerful Comicsman podcast. This is Jerald Dorado, and we are continuing the 40 Life Wisdom at 40 series. We're now at number 27. But before we continue, let me just tell you about Miucha Lux Cakes. This is our little online pastry shop. The best vegan desserts, cakes, cookies, donuts, even wedding cakes, man. And new surprises all the time. So check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We're at hello.miucha. That's at HELLO.MIUCCIA. Mutual Lux Cakes, Instagram and Facebook. Hello.Mutual. And we also have a website if you want to follow this series 40 Life Wisdom at 40. You can find the entire series on www.komiksman.com/40 Life Wisdom at 40. The entire series is there. The videos on YouTube and the audio in Spotify. And well, this podcast is also available on all podcast platforms, basically. All right, so let's go on. Let's move on to number 27 of our 40 life wisdoms. Help is a debt you pay to the next person who needs it. Okay, so this episode is about giving. Okay, so and this is about paying it forward. Basically, that's it. It's a realization that that I keep keep into heart. Uh, and I didn't realize that I've been following this. It was reinforced. One story about this is I one of my earliest podcast heroes, even though he wasn't calling his show a podcast back then. He is one of the best illustrators in the world, based in Toronto, Canada. His name is Bobby Chu. He's an artist, a concept artist, and he is well, he's one of the people you can consider as a pioneer in streaming. He was one of the first people to stream drawing, live drawings, or at least in my knowledge. So that's what he called it, Chew stream. He was streaming, but he also talks while he did all of those um, drawings online, which is the inspiration actually for the drawing companion series here on TPKP. Well, in one episode, actually this is a special. He had this special which he called, it's still available online. You can listen to this. This is one of the best audio material you'll ever hear. The title is The Perfect Bait by Bobby Chu. Listen to that, especially if you're an artist. But in that special, he told the story of he told one story um when he was still younger. He just graduated, I think, from art school, and just as most young people who graduated, just got out of college, he was still lost, didn't know exactly what to do, and he attended a convention, an art convention in, I don't know where, probably in Canada. And in that convention, he met one of his idols. His name is Stephen Silver. So this is another inspirational guy, Stephen Silver. So young Bobby Chu met an older artist. He's not that old. Okay, I think he's still in his maybe 50s right now. So that was he's probably in his 30s when he met him. But but he was able to talk to Steven Silver, and Stephen Silver, being a more experienced veteran, was just happy to talk to this new guy, Bobby, and that conversation was went really deep, and Bobby was able to ask a lot of things about the nature of the art industry. He was given tips, and most especially mindsets by one of the people that he admired in the industry. And as an artist, I imagine how it must have felt. And at the end of the conversation, Bobby was so elated, and he asked. He was so just happy, couldn't believe it just happened, and he asked Stephen. Um, first of all, he thanked him. Well, thank you so much, and then he asked, "What can I do? How can I ever repay you for the things that you just did for me just now?" And I will not forget what Steven said to him. And Bobby um, said that this he carried what he said to him, and he will carry it all through his life. He said, "Well, just do this for somebody else, and then we'll call it even." So, di ba? It's that is so powerful. That is so powerful. That is so selfless. That is so wise. That is so positive. That is such a force for good. It's and well, my wife was listening with me when I listened to it, and she actually cried hearing those words. It 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 just touches you in a different way, and just as Bobby experienced, uh, I I decided to keep that in mind as well, and it has actually become one of the one of the things that I believe and practice. Well, um, I was uh, I was called the first the first time I was called a giver. Kind of was kind of surprising to me. First of all, the word giver is not a typical word to use when describing somebody who is generous. Diba? Parang, usually generous would be the common word. That's what they would call you. Kasi I treated this guy from church. It was the second time that I treated him for a Jollibee meal. Diba? It was late night, and the church. I used to go to church before. Okay, so we had a prayer meeting, and sometimes it would take us up till late nights na, ganun. And we got hungry, And this guy that I was with didn't have any money, just had fare. And when he said that, me, um, I was still broke back then. Not so broke anymore because I already have a job, but I wasn't balling, you know, by any stretch of the imagination. I was just I was just happy that I could share some things, and during that time, I uh, I treated that guy for a spaghetti meal ata, and and I was surprised when he called me that kasi giver ka pala, giver. So, okay. And that's the only time when I realized that oo nga, there are givers and there are people who are so hard to give. Meron talagang mga ano eh, merong distinction. Some people are hard pressed to do favors, to do other people favors, 'di ba? That it's just not in their system. Uh, it's not the compliment that surprised me. It's the realization that there are actually givers and non-givers, 'di ba? And the thing about giving is, um, to me personally, I give freely as long as I don't feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Then okay lang sa akin magbigay. And dun sa iba, some people, well, I have some friends na, alam mo yun, just asking 2 pesos or a stick of fish balls, they would feel parang hirap na hirap sila, 'di ba? Hirap na hirap silang magbigay. And while I don't want to, I'm not judging them because I'm sure they have their reasons. But it was only then that it occurred to me that there are givers and non-givers. And I realized when I heard Bobby Chu's story that I am one of those people who would give things, who's easy for, who has it in their systems to be ready in giving. And in giving, it's not only material things that you can pass on to somebody who needs it. It, like in Bobby's case, it was knowledge, it was ideas, it was perspective, 'di ba? And those are those cost just as much, and I would even say much more than money. Those things are priceless. And and some people can some people would also be stingy just giving advice, 'di ba? Parang either they don't care, or they're selfish, or it's just not their thing for whatever reason. And to me, I choose to be I choose to be helpful. I think I think if more people would be willing to share what they have, whether it's knowledge or material things, money. But of course, it's to me the knowledge, and most especially hope. I think um that is the best gift that you can give to anyone. Hope, because if you have hope, then you would have energy to move, to go on. You would have motivation. You would have, you can, it can point to a direction that you can go. And um, we were, I think, I'm sure you've heard what they say about street children, um, giving, saying that, advising people to not give money to street children because the money don't really go to the to the children. They don't get to keep it. Uh, Bad operatives, a syndicate, might be might be behind. It might be a racket, and they're using children to get money from people. So people are advised not to give children alms. Well, siguro totoo yun. Maybe that happens, but sometimes there are kids who really look like they're really hungry, 'di ba? Wala silang pera talaga. And sometimes parang maawa ka eh. Uh, I used to heed that advice to not give, but later on parang I I came up with a different approach. So what I do now is I give I give whatever I can, whatever spare change that I can lend to the kid, or most of the time this happens when I when I eat outside. There's a there's an eatery near our place. It's it's the Pares yung karinderya na Pares. Basta sometimes I would stop by there and eat, especially if it's late night kasi it's open 24 hours. And sometimes there would be, it's open air. So sometimes there would be kids approaching me. And several times I've invited them to have a meal with me. I'm not gonna give them money anymore, but I'm gonna feed them, diba? And they're just happy to eat. Sometimes there would be one, two, or three kids, and I'm blessed that I can afford it, so I do it. And or sometimes I would, kahit 5 pesos lang, diba? Kung ano yung barya ko doon na pwede ko ibigay. Uh, but aside from giving, I would also tell them. I would make it a point that I tell this to them. Na I look them in the eye and talk to them sincerely and tell them, uh, right now I'm helping you, but one day when you grow up, you will be in the position to help other people as well. Remember this, na people are helping you out, so that when the time comes that you can help others, you can do the same thing for others as well. And I believe, um, aside from that, giving instructions of paying it forward, I think I would like to think that I'm giving them and putting an idea in their heads, that the idea of hope, that they're not stuck, that there's a possibility uh for them to get ahead in life and be a blessing to others. to have a better life, to the point that they're the ones helping, that they're not begging anymore, and that they could provide hope for other people as well, young children most especially. And I hope, I hope I was able to do that. I'm not saying this because I want to toot my horn. I just want to I just want people to realize that you could do the same thing. Diba? That I think hope is the best gift, and you can add that actually give hope, and the actual coin or 10, 20 pesos that you're gonna give the the street kid, that's just the bonus, because you'll never know, they would probably they would probably listen, because these things are not things that they hear all the time. Of all the kids that I've told that, lahat sila, all of them were they stopped and listened, and there's just there was just a look in their faces looking back at me, and I'd like to think that it made them think some thoughts that they don't think usually. I'd like to think that I was able to instill or to plant a seed of hope in their heads. I sure hope I was able to do that, and I wish more people could do the same. Maybe some would not listen. So maybe some people, some of those kids, parang oh, just get over with it. Parang, get it over with. Parang ba, sino ka ba? Bakit mo ba ako kinakausap? Yeah, that would be fine. I won't be able to do anything about that. But hopefully, some of those kids would think otherwise and consider and know that there are people who who has not who haven't given up on them, and that there are people who think that they're not all that lost. So, yun. I think uh, I think that is the best way to repay someone. Kasi when I've actually done favors, and I don't want to talk about them anymore. I don't. It's not my thing. But whenever I have, let's just say I've helped friends before, and you know what? The thing about helping is you don't you shouldn't expect anything in return. So sometimes they would offer to pay it back, diba? Diba? So, I'm gonna do something for you too. Then okay. Sometimes I just tell them na no, just do this, just do it for someone else. Parang ganun. I think that is the best way to help someone. And also, being a giver, it also makes it easy for me to receive when somebody is giving me something. I think that is uh that is another one perk for that, because I understand the joys of giving, eh. 'Di ba parang oh, maybe he feels the same way that I do. So there was one time that somebody gave me. I think it's I don't know. Somebody gave me something and I forgot why, but I just saw na parang he wanted to give. Okay, sabi sige. It's great. It's great to get free things. And the thing about giving too is what the Bible said. Be a happy giver. I don't give all the time. Okay, just to make it clear. There are times that, of course, you will need to practice discretion in giving. Make an assessment. Is this guy gonna do something with what I'm gonna give to him? Is he gonna listen? Um, pag binigyan ko ba ng pera to, alam mo yun, pag pinautang ko ba siya, what's he gonna do? Is he dependable? Diba? Of course, you're gonna consider those things. If kung hindi pasado, then hindi ko bibigyan. That's just how the way it goes. And also, sometimes the moment that I that I felt that you're just trying to take advantage, then parang nang uuto ka pa. Yun ang pinaka turn off sa lahat. Chances are I'm never gonna give you anything ever again, or do a favor for you, or give you a discount. Sometimes I do that. There would be clients who would, I only have a limited budget, but since they're good people to me, sometimes I would give them discounts. But my point is, I should be happy when I give. If I'm feeling something else, if I'm not happy in doing a favor, and I'm just not feeling it, then better not give at all. Diba? Be a happy giver, because it's just not it's just against what it's just something that I believe, 'di ba? Nobody wants to feel ikaw na nga nagbigay, ikaw pa yung nagmukhang tanga, 'di ba? So, but that's obvious, 'di ba? Pero some people get taken advantage of, 'di ba? Inuuto ka. So, uh, if you don't feel like somebody deserves a gift from you, then don't do it. Kahit sino pa yan. Kahit parents mo pa yan, or asawa mo yan, or whoever. And, yun, it's, I think, I think the best way to I would consider any kind of help that you receive as a debt of gratitude. And it is best paid not to the person who gave it to you, but to the next person who needs it. Kasi if the giver is sincere, he's not expecting anything in return to begin with. Diba? Baka nga ma-insulto pa eh. Binibigyan kita eh, diba? I'm giving you something and you keep insisting on paying. Sometimes it could be annoying. Diba? What what is it in giving that you do not understand? Why are you paying me? Diba? So if that's the case, then just do the same favors or another favor. Anything that you can do for others. That is the best way that you can pay your debt of gratitude to someone else. Okay? That's it. Number 27. Remember, help is a debt you pay to the next. Again, number 27. Help is a debt you pay to the next person who needs it. Powerful comics man.